Well, here it is, my review of the Dyson DC33 multi-floor vacuum. I know I promised this review quite a while, a long time ago, but I never got around to it. So I managed to do it now while I have a chance. The Dyson DC33 basically is one of those lightweight uprights that's more basic in its design than the other vacuums that they have released so far. This is more like one of those basic, in-between units. It's kind of like a variant of the DC28 and DC14. It costs $399 at, retail at regular stores like Walmart, Target, Sears, the store. But I'll tell you, this ain't no cheap-ass vacuum there. This is actually one of the best vacuums I've ever bought. And I can tell you that with absolute assurance. I have actually tried out other vacuum cleaners. I've owned many different vacuums, including including a Third Level Light, Rika Victory Boss, Dynamite, have Rika Boss Super Light. Try out. We've had Electrolux before, and this is one of the best. Definitely one of the best in the market. It does cost $399, in which by Dyson standards, by Dyson standards, this is actually one of their cheapest uprights that they have. Not cheap as in cheap as piece of shit quality, as in cost. But basically, here's the features of the Dyson. I'll show them to you. First, you can see, of course, it uses the same kind of head that the DC07, DC14 have used, in previous models. They use the same exact design, so the same dependable, cleaner head. And actually, here's a neat little quick fact. If you live over in the UK, if you're watching this in the United Kingdom, you know what I'm talking about. There was actually a Dyson vacuum that had this same exact cleaner head design before DC07, before DC14, and that was the DC04. Type it up, look it up in Google. It was a dual synchronic vacuum made by Dyson, used the same exact cleaner head. It also used the clutch, in which the clutch has two belts. There's one in the back, one around here. Inside here, that rotates the brush. When you have it set on the carpets, if you set on bare floors, again, brush would shut off, would stay off. The belt wouldn't break, so of course you never need to replace the belt. And also, if you got something stuck in it, it will make a grinding noise to let you know that there's a jam. Just turn off the vacuum, pull off the obstruction, then turn it back on. It's good to go again. So yeah, if you do get a grinding noise on this, don't worry, just turn off the vacuum. Of course, you'll be startled. Just pull off the instruction. Or if you tried switching it to carpets from bare floor to carpets while in its operating position, just make sure when you put it in the operating position before you adjust the clutch. Before you adjust the brush control. The carpets and bare floors. But that is one feature DC04 shared, and it's been used on DC07 and 14, and still used today on the DC33. In fact, there was other designs, such as I think DC17 had a similar design to this, but it didn't have a clutch. It had a motorized brush bar, and the brush roll design was different. It was more like Americanized standards, roller, cylinder shape, like a roller brush, and more shorter, stiffer bristles. Helped you clean carpets much better. DC27 had this design also. DC28 designed some of DC17 that had air muscle technology, like usually around here, and just which helps calibrate the cleaner head, the power head, for different surfaces. Want more information on that, just send me a comment and I'll explain to you what air muscle technology is. And you got DC33, which is the same exact design that previous vacuums I've used. And actually, and speaking of DC27, over in the UK they have a similar design to this, where it looks like a DC28, of course, but the one indicator is to have a clutch. That's something interesting. Again, that's a different story. But anyway, back to this. One neat thing is, of course, it tells you on its label. Of course, you can't see it that well. It says Root Cyclone Technology. Basically, what Root Cyclone Technology is, this is actually the heart of the Dyson vacuum. Basically, in here, you see I have a little bit of dirt in here. I vacuumed yesterday. What you have is an outer cyclone that separates the large fluff, and of course you have bells and stuff in here, but dirt, air does swirl. And then there's a shroud in here. Of course, you know, I may not see it that well. Yeah, let me shine it up here. It goes into the shroud, and then gets separated. Then it goes, air goes up into here to these cyclones. And then the air gets spun, and then air gets spun even faster. That forces over 120,000 Gs in these cyclones, in these inner cyclones. And so it's more than just 2, it's 8. There's 7 inner cyclones here, 1 outer cyclone there. What it does is helps prevent loss of suction. And so you can clean your entire floor, you can clean your carpets, your upholstery, everything you need. And you can let the bin fill up and it still wouldn't lose power. And this thing this vacuum actually has a testament to that. Because there's 2 occasions where I've used this in heavy situations. One time at a Christmas party, we were getting ready for a Christmas party, and I helped to vacuum the bare floors and the carpets because they needed vacuums, and so I took this over. And when we got to the carpets, I vacuumed these 2 rooms, and there was a bunch of fluff that was in here. It was almost full of carpet fluff, and this was brand new carpet. This wasn't, you know, really old crappy carpet. This was brand new carpet, and there was carpet fluff almost reaching the bins, full, you know, almost filling up the bin, and that was pretty amazing. Another instance was at the same house, but a friend was getting ready, was doing some painting, and he ran out of shop vac bags, drywall filler bags for his shop vac, and so he said, called me, invited me over to help out, and so I brought my Dyson over, to help him vacuum up drywall. Again, I vacuumed the bare floors, the concrete floors, a little bit of carpet. Almost every time I had to empty it several times because it was almost at the fill line, but it still hadn't lost suction. Even though the filter in here, which I'll show you right now, even though this filter, which is of course a lifetime filter, doesn't need replacing. So this took quite a bit of dirt on here. I tried to brush it off with my hand, on my pants, just to brush off the dust, try to so that way I wouldn't have to rinse it, but eventually need to be rinsed. But it still performed very well. Anyway, this is the pre-filter. As you can see here, it's a pre-motor filter. It has 2 parts. You have this little donut insert, which kind of looks like a donut, and you have this screen here, which of course I guess helps trap even small particles. Basically, traps the really large dust particles. Anything that manages to pass, any dirt that manages to escape the cyclones, will get caught through there. And then of course you got the HEPA filter. Located under here. Again, this filter will not need to be replaced. Just rinse it once every 3 months, and you're good to go. And if you register your Dyson, I think they give you send you an email, usually when it's time to wash your filter. I think it's the moment when you buy it, or something like that, so that way so it helps keep track, that way when it's time to say, rinse out the filters, and so that way it'll wash today. Just if you get an email saying, a wash day email from Dyson. Just wash out your filters. And then you just put them back in and then doing normal use, once you get another email or something like that. Use up filters. That's a good way to keep this vacuum maintained, keep this vacuum cleaner running at peak performance and lasting for years to come. Of course, as I said, there's no extra cost for this thing. You never need to replace a bag, belt, or filter. Ever. You got two attachments. You got two attachments for this thing on the multi-floor. You have this combination tool, which is a crevice tool, which also has a brush that slides up and connects into place. You can use this to dust your furniture, your upholstery, dust furniture, say wooden furniture, Venetian blinds, anything that needs dusting. Say I don't have to reach out for the pledge. You also have the stair tool, which is basically Dyson's fancy way of saying upholstery tool. Has little lint strips on here, which is very effective at removing pet hair. No, it doesn't use one of those tiny, little rubber fingers, that, rubber blades or finger sort of things. I've seen those before. I think they're a big joke. If you don't know what I'm talking about, some manufacturers try to make like models, like vacuum cleaner models designed for pets, like for cleaning houses with pets. And so they try, and so it includes special accessories to help with the problem. Sometimes they have, like I know Bissell included a pet contour tool. It's basically it's kind of like an upholstery tool, but it has this little rubber nozzle insert. It has this little nubs, several little nubs, on it. It's supposed to contour the furniture and grab pet hair and pick it up. I think it's a joke. There was a couple other designs, like some attachments using like rubber blades, and it's have to remove pet hair. Again, big joke. Vacuum Wizard tested Vacuum Wizard, which is one of those channels on YouTube. They tested out some units that had that little attachment, and of course that little attachment failed. It was pathetic at removing pet hair. Just made picked up some of the pet hair, but left the rest of the pet hair in one big clump. Dyson, they don't use gimmicky. They don't make gimmicky attachments like that. Like for example, stair tool, of course, has a soft lint strip, remove pet hair. Plus, they do have accessories like a mini turbine head that you can get for this, soft dusting brush, which is elongated, and I think a flexi crevice tool. There's a multi-angle brush, which is kind of like a soft dusting brush with an angled pipe for cleaning top ceiling fans. There's also stiff brushes that you can use for stubborn areas. If you get the DC33 stubborn, I think it's next in the UK. They have that as standard, but anyway. There's many different attachments you can get for this thing that will maximize the use area of Dyson. None of them are gimmicks. Basically, the engineers / geniuses at Dyson, they figured, and I say that as a compliment, not sarcastic. They invented these attachments to make it easier for people to use, to maximize the use out of their Dyson. What you can also see is, I'll show you the hose. This is one of those things that reminds me of the old Phantoms when I was a little kid. The handle, you just saw it. The handle converts to a cleaning wand. Isn't that pretty cool? The handle actually converts into, it has a wand, well actually a really long wand, that sticks straight out, that you pull straight out and pull right out of the vacuum cleaner, in which you can then clean clean the upholstery. You can clean clean hard to reach areas. You can reach along the baseboard, up top. You can actually clean stairs with this. The wand is very long. You can see here, it may be very long. You think, oh, this is going to be awkward to use. Well, first, some people find it awkward, but eventually they get used to it. Nice stretch hose. Stretches out to, I think, 15 feet or 17 feet. I'm not sure. 15 something feet in any direction. Very long hose. When you first buy this, just a little FYI, the hose will be stiff at first. And so when you get out the hose, you want to try to, to stretch it out. Pre-stretch it, when you first get it. Just really, stretch it out, because at first it will be stiff, because, they try to make the hose durable. Of course, at first it will be stiff because it's brand new. Just stretch out the hose. Just stretch out the hose when you first get it before you put it on. So that way it's a lot more easier to use when you use the hose. On bare floors, when you use the vacuum, even when it's off the hose, the vacuum will follow you around like a little puppy dog when the stretch hose is used. Carpets usually stay put. But it's very nice for cleaning stairs and all that. Once you get it soft and gets soft, and after a little bit, it'll become more soft, and you'll be able to use it a lot more. And plus, you can see here, attachments such as this combination accessory tool and the air tool will fit. Will actually click right into place on this vacuum. And you just have this red button here you press on the back. Sorry. Put on the back, click it back in place. Sorry about that. Sorry, I accidentally dropped my phone. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally dropped it when I was filming there. No scratches. God damn, Samsung makes durable phones, don't they? That'll be my next review. Anyway. Yeah, but you see here, the nice hose. It sits on the back quite nicely. There's actually, if you actually have, if you have obstructions, if you have any kinds of obstructions in the vacuum, you have two different spots. You have a U-bend, a clear U-bend here, that you can detach. It's clear, so if you see any clogs, if there's any clogs, it will be quite visible. And then you can proceed to unclog it. And then you have the valve pipe. Again, it's one of those replacement parts. Again, so if you get any clogs in the valve pipe or something like that, you can access that and clean it out. Oh, I forgot to tell you, every Dyson, and plus the neat thing is, every Dyson, and now I'm going back to filtration, every Dyson DC33, in fact, every Dyson operating canister that they make is certified asthma and allergy friendly by the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America. They also have the British Asthma and Allergy Seal of Approval. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, you probably will not find that kind of certification on almost any other vacuum. Some have them. Very few have that rating. And there's actually a bunch of vacuums on the market that use the HEPA filter. And they don't have that rating. They don't have that certification. I'll explain why. Because the Dyson has seals, gaskets all around. That filter here has a seal. Dirt enters the vacuum. Of course, you can see there's a seal right there. There's a seal at the exhaust. Seals around here. In the dirt bin, there's a seal around there to keep dirt from seeping out. The U-bend has a seal. There's a seal around the valve pipe. There's a seal on the valve pipe itself. There's a seal there, keeps dirt trapped from escaping. There's seals around, probably that hose there. There's seals around here. There's this gasket around here. There's a gasket around here. There's gaskets in all places where dirt could possibly escape. Before it reaches the HEPA filter, before it reaches filters, they put gaskets around. And that'll help. That'll help a lot. Because at that point, because if you have asthma or allergies, I mean, asthma is really a big nightmare for some people, because if you ever notice, let's say you have asthma or allergies, or let's say you have asthma, and I know it's a little scare tactic. Let me state a hypothetical situation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you think that all vacuums that have HEPA filters are going to clean the air as you clean your floors. Say you're cleaning the house. Let's say you have asthma, or say your child is playing on the floor, something like that, has asthma. Let's say you're vacuuming the floors with a traditional vacuum that has HEPA filter. Then let's say, you're vacuuming the house, it's pretty dirty, but you're vacuuming the house, and you think it's empty, you think it's cleaning the floors, all that. Let's say you finish vacuuming. Say 15 minutes later, the hypothetical child, suffers from is having shortness of breath all of a sudden. She's suffering from an asthma attack. And not just any asthma attack, this sounds severe. It's severe to the point where you have to take them to the hospital for the asthma, which doctors manage to treat it, or to treat them. You have to take them to the hospital because the asthma is so severe that even the inhalers don't work, or that you run out of the inhaler, and you have to take them to the hospital quickly for the doctors to save his life. Yeah, it could get that bad. And that's when it hits, and maybe if doctors are asking how the asthma happens, say, to keep the air clean. Well, yeah, we keep the air clean. So you run air cleaners. Let's say, is there anything that could have caused this allergies? That's when it hits you. That your vacuum cleaner was causing it. That you realize that your vacuum cleaner that may have a complete non-sealed system or inefficient filtration could be causing the asthma and allergies, or cause the asthma attack. Now, I know that just came out of my head. I know I'm using a scare tactic here, but that could happen. There are people who suffer from allergies and asthma every day. There's, some people have allergies and where, they have runny noses, watery eyes, really gets annoying. But then there's some people who have asthma attacks where they have to reach for an inhaler, to breathe it. They say they're allergic to dust and suffer asthma as a result of exposure to dust and other allergens. And I'll explain why, and I know I mentioned unsealed systems or inefficient filtration. I know this video is getting long. Most vacuums today do not either have a poor filtration system, either just a standard filter bag or just an allergen filtration, or called micron filtration, or that the vacuum does have HEPA filtration, but it's not completely sealed. There just may be seals, where the dirt comes in and where dirt comes out. Those asthma and allergens that your vacuum could be your traditional vacuum could be picking up, could be blown right back into the air, seep out back in the air before it even reaches the HEPA filter. What that means is that unless your vacuum has as a completely sealed system. Unless there's gaskets and seals around to keep dirt from escaping into the air before you reach the depth filter, your vacuum's not filtering at a high efficiency. In fact, it's just filtering like any other vacuum cleaner that uses a standard filter bag. It's just blowing dirt back in the air. Same thing for vacuums that have poor filtration. Say you have an old vacuum cleaner that uses a traditional standard filter bag. All the dust being very small allergens and being blown back to air. Say you have a Shark Navigator, not the Navigator lift away, the standard Navigator, or maybe you have the Navigator swivel that the red Navigator swivel that you buy from Kohl's. That doesn't have HEPA filtration. Yes, the imitator of a Dyson, one of the imitators of Dyson is Shark, and if you want me to, I can explain all about them in the next video. Shark Navigator doesn't have a HEPA filter. It means this dust being blown back to the air. Dyson does. It has a HEPA filter. It has a completely sealed system. It has everything that you need to not only clean your floors but also clean the air that you're breathing, and plus you won't have to replace filters. I know some people say that the vacuum is too expensive. And there's some people think, well, $390, $400, that's pretty expensive for a vacuum cleaner. Oh, we could buy another one. We could buy a Dirt Devil or Hoover that looks just like this one. That has, you could find other vacuums that have dual cyclone technology or looks like multi-cyclone technology. It's basically a knockoff of the Dyson. You might think, oh, that does the same job. Let me tell you something. Don't be fooled by the imitators. There are a bunch of imitators out there to try to copy Dyson. Some use dual cyclone technology, some try to come up with their own version of multi-cyclone technology, and some have tried to copy Dyson. But I'll tell you this, the root cyclone technology that's used on this Dyson is exclusive. Only Dyson makes the root cyclone technology. Everything else, all the other multi-cyclone technologies that you see in the market that looks like root cyclone technology are just imitations. They're just copycats. Trust me, I use this vacuum a lot when I vacuum my carpets, when I vacuum the bare floors here. It is the best. I would never trade this in for anything else. I would never trade this in for any other brand, even Kirby. I know there's some Kirby elitists out there, some elitists out there that think some places better. Okay, okay, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. I have no problem with that. But it is my personal opinion that this Dyson vacuum is the best machine that is on the market. To me, it makes all the other vacuum cleaners obsolete. So, if you need any more information about this Dyson vacuum, or if you want any questions, comments, just feel free to drop a comment on the page, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you like, please feel free to check out all the other videos that I have on YouTube right now, on my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the link. That takes you to my channel, and you'll see a bunch of other videos. Plus, you'll see, feel free to check out the favorite section of some of my favorite videos that are generated by other users. So, thanks very much for taking the time to watch this. I know it's a long video, but I'm glad you took the time to watch it, and please, feel free to buy, do whatever you can to buy this. If you did buy it, and if you like it, drop a comment, let me know, let me know if this review has helped you or not. So, this is Ryan Summer 1, signing off. You guys have an awesome weekend.